episode of
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Yeah, man.
On the table, man.
On the desk.
Yo,
it's been a minute.
Your host, Uncle AK,
and I'm Reflex,
yes,
bro.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, man.
Turn your mic down because you killing me.
I'm what?
I just turned your mic down because you were killing me.
I can't even hear myself, bro.
Oh, you can't?
I cannot hear myself.
It's cool. You're gonna be alright.
So why am I wearing the headphones if I can't hear myself?
You're gonna be alright.
I'm gonna be alright.
Yeah.
So I could take off the headphones on.
This guy's about to break everything. You really can't hear yourself?
I really cannot hear myself.
Alright, you want to start over?
Yeah, let's start. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, we're recording anyways. We're live. So
yeah, we're live.
It is what it is. It is what it is. This guy's about to break the studio down.
Yeah, man.
I'm moving everything, bro.
We are gonna start over. Start over.
Huh?
Start over.
No, we good. Let's keep going. We're live. We can't start over. Anyways, live.
Yeah, man, we are back. Hey, listen, appreciate y'all checking in Stuck in the Middle podcast. First episode on Back on the Desk. That's AK, Uncle AK, and I'm Reflex. We appreciate y'all checking this out on a weekly basis, man. If you have not liked us on all social media platforms, we are SITM Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. We are also on YouTube, where we house this very video if you want to check it out later. YouTube.com/SITM Podcast. Definitely want to remind you this episode is sponsored by Perfect Office Solution. They provide office space for affordable, professional, flexible entrepreneurs in the DMV area. And their office space is also affordable, professional, and flexible. You know what I mean? Starting at just $4.99, you use promo code SITM Podcast, you get 10% off your monthly lease. That's a dope deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I guess in the business they might get one of them office spaces, you know what I'm saying?
And we expect more subscribers and more sponsors this year, so you know what I mean, hit us up.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, man, listen, bro. When the year started, we had Master Yen in the building. He did some crazy stuff on the keyboard.
He came through with
you know what I'm saying? And then we had Moms.
Yeah, man, Moms said, alright, son, we getting orders from Germany,
you know what
bro.
I'm saying?
How am I supposed to ship chips all to Germany, man? Like, what's up with that?
But yeah, we back on the desk with a special guest in the building. Sir. I'm excited for this, man.
Me too, man.
Let them know who. Yeah, definitely. Let them know who we got in the building, bro.
Yeah, we have a very special guest in the house. She's a natural creator and CEO of Lucid Art Gallery. Please welcome Keri, follow just Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You came ready.
I came prepared. I love coming prepared.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Like she was here 30 minutes before, and it's dope. Like, listen, I want to start here and break the ice. This is a quote from your website.
Yes.
I'm a girl from a good family. One day I turned my back on it all and became a bohemian. That's a quote by Brigitte Bardot. What does it mean to you?
That quote means to me self-expression. So I come from a family from the military. They have high-ranking, very broad perspective on that lifestyle. And I also come from a family of high educators. So we have admirals, colonels. We have people who fly actual commercial planes, principals, and we also have grammar teachers and special needs teachers and dentists, so doctors also. So in those kind of arenas, you're kind of pressured to kind of pick one of those fields, right? And it's not that I basically turn my back on my family in sort of a sense, but just want to feel my own way out as a bohemian, they say. So when they say like a bohemian, they think of like, oh, you're going to be a hippy dippy, kind of just like go with the flow, kind of just roam the world and just kind of live off of the land for the art. But there's also different definitions of a bohemian where it's like you're really into the art and the culture, you're really into the luxurious and also the poverty of art, and you just kind of embrace that and you want to be a creator, not just a regurgitator of something else in someone else's family. So that's what that quote really means to me. It means like be yourself, be creative, and that's basically I can't be anything but myself. I feel like I am.
You know, like this era, you know, it's time to create, especially people of color. You know, we consume a lot. You know, I read this article by this young kid out there in Cali, what do you call it, Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
he's just 22 years old, but he's already worked with Google. He's worked with Lyft and Uber. You know, created programs that bring directions and stuff. I forget. I don't know.
Kind of like Google Maps kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So he said, yo, we consume a lot, but we don't create. When will we minorities start creating? You know what I mean? So like that just goes to what you said. But piggyback to our conversation, you also quoted saying you've been focused on the concept of self-awareness and laws of the universe. Could you please expand on that?
So I've been focused on self-awareness. I mean, at the end of the day, you are you. You see, you perceive, you have your own perception, you have your own thoughts and opinions, and a lot of the times we're influenced to follow the crowd. So when I'm going through these creations and making these creations, it's bringing out a part of me and expressing a part of me that I'm learning more about myself. So a lot of my art that I do is self-expression. I'll have a feeling, an emotion, put it down on the paper and reflect on it and say, this is me. This is coming out of me. Basically, it's passion, it's love, it's anger, it's frustration, it's achievement, it's success, and this is how I'm going to express it because it's for me. And just the laws of the universe, it's how do I apply what I'm doing and focus my goals on the direction that I want, and not so much to say I'm not influenced by the world around me, because when I look around, this is the world around me, my world around me. But there's got to be some laws. I'm very big into science also, not just art. I studied biology and pre-med in school, and currently I'm working for the eye registry. So we're doing a lot of research analytics, we're doing a lot of database analysis, we're doing a ton of presentations just based off of science itself. So when I want to learn about something and its impact on whatever the founding of laws are, I figure the laws of the universe apply to me. Also the laws of physics apply to me, you know, like they say gravity.
Yeah.
But I want to learn that. If I'm here on this earth in this space and in this time, why not understand and not manipulate it, but use it to my advantage?
Yeah.
You know, science has laws. For instance, physics, you have momentum, and that's how we get cars and planes and ships to move in a direction, and we can control those things. So if you learn those laws about yourself and how they apply to the world around you, you could have a great impact, a huge impact on the world around you. No matter how small it seems, it's an impact. It's like a ripple effect. You know what I mean? And that's why I focus on those laws, because it just empowers me. It feels good to me. So
should make you want to go start physics, man.
Never. Now let's get to know you a little bit. What do you rank in terms of siblings in your family? What do you rank in terms of siblings in your family?
I have an older sister. I have a younger brother. So in terms of rank, I am
Middle.
the middle, stuck in the middle, right? Pretty much. However, I'm that go-getter kind of child. My mom says you're living your life too fast, you know.
Which I was gonna ask you, like, who else is creative or like into arts in your family? Just you?
My mom is interior decorator.
That's art, yeah.
Yeah, that's art. She's interior decorator. My dad is an engineer, so like the 3D designs, he does a lot of that. So that's art. I mean, everything is literally art. This is art. Yeah. You know, this is communication to the world in a way that they can understand this. That's art. So in rank, I'm there. Honestly, I'm just there.
Now, before we get into this, right, who is Keri? Like, who is Keri?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think I'm a pretty happy person, really energetic. I try to see the upsides of life. I just take what it is. I don't try to judge or try to influence someone else to tailor to me. I just love life. I really just enjoy being. And if I made a decision to come here, then I just want to enjoy it and interact with it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that Keri is my name, but I am a being too, you know what I'm saying? I'm a energy. Earlier before the show, we were all dancing and having a good time. I mean, that's a good energy. You can feel that when they come into your studio. So I can feel that with people around me too. It's just the energy vibration of who you are, and I guess that's who I am. Keri is just my name, but I think I'm a positive energy. I create
positive energy.
Influence. I build. You know, that's who I am.
Nah, people gotta understand, man. Like this whole studio right now, you know, it has art everywhere. You got drawing books over there.
Yeah.
You got canvases laying right there. You got this thing behind me. which we're gonna get into.
The whole studio is decked
The
out.
whole
in
studio is
art.
decked out in art, man. Like I love it. I love art too. You know, I mean, you get in my room, it's just art everywhere.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this right here. What do we have here? You know, let's start breaking it down in pieces and stuff. So, the first picture is
It's like a necklace.
Yeah, it's a necklace.
Yeah, this is a medallion. When I worked at White Marsh, I started talking about, oh, I make some jewelry here and there. I make some art. And there was a frequent customer that would come in and said, could you please make a necklace for me? Here's the medallion. And when I presented it to him with the necklace and the extra little piece on it and just how it fit on his neck, he really appreciated it. And he said, this is symbolic in my family. Like, I wouldn't have let anyone else touch it, basically.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of like, wow, taken aback. Like, you can do stuff with art. It's not just about the starving artist. Like, art can transform your life. And he's like, I haven't had this on my neck in a while, and thank you so much. I think he offered to like compensate for the time and effort, but at that point it's like comes a moment where you're just like, I'm good because I have that feeling, you know? So that's what this, it's like the driving force. It started with this, and I remember this. It could have started with other things, but I remember this most significantly, and that's why I posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's one of the first. I remember that from the Olive Garden, White Marsh.
Yeah,
I don't know where you
Baltimore.
are today, but thank you for that
That's
very
dope.
much. You influenced me.
We got another one.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
man, we got more.
So after that, I started making art just to sell, more of fashion, you know, like try to industry. So I said, let's do a fall season fashion. So we have the reds, the greens, and the reds, the greens, and the oranges. Very powerful colors. You know, red's passion, and orange success, and yellow is wisdom, and green is like heart chakra kind of thing. If you follow the chakras.
Yeah.
And so I
My
marketed
favorite
that.
color.
You,
Green.
green.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
Oh, I'll get to that too. So I marketed this. They have a maple leaf on them, and that was very successful. This is the point where I launched a website, just very basic, simple, just to try out. Like, hey, this is a way to do e-commerce and show fashion and art. So that's the next start that actually drove some of the other pieces I have on my actual website. This right here. Just selling some bracelets.
Man, see, if you're listening right now on Spotify, Apple Music, the audio,
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, and all that audio stuff, man, I apologize, but go on YouTube right now. If you're taking a drive when you get to work, go on YouTube and watch some of this stuff.
Subscribe too.
Yeah, I just had to throw that out there. But if you watch it right now on YouTube, continue, please.
Thank you.
Next slide.
Oh, you're so cool. Yeah, let's next slide. So I worked for this lady at a granola company, and she did flea markets basically, and I would go out and talk and interact with the people, and they would give feedback on how the granola tasted. And I said, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. It's not hard. I like doing it, actually. So I set up a shop basically at the Bethesda flea market, really local near Silver Spring. And I started selling more bracelets, but I also incorporated some of these medallion pieces that I have. So there's a couple here on the desk.
Yeah.
So I brought these for you guys. These are actually
this
for you
us?
guys.
Oh,
all
sure.
three
I'm
of
about
them.
to rock the joint right
Yeah,
now. You know what I'm saying?
So these are things that I have
Here's one.
that I make. These are handmade. I just kind of string them along. Sometimes they're no two are alike, really. You can put them next to your walls.
Do you do that on purpose? No two are alike?
No two are alike, because I just create.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it just
yeah.
comes in a passion. There's a little loop on it, and you can put it next to a picture. You can put it in your car. You can put it over your bed. You can put it over your door as you're leaving, and it has a symbolic to you. So you can put any symbolism to it. Like this might be a chain going up to success. It has a cross on it. So if you have a Christian background, it might be really symbolic to you.
Yeah, I'll
and
take
the other
that one.
ones have
No, let's take that one.
well, you can share it whatever you like. Or you can just share it inside of this studio, you know. But you put symbolism to what you have for that. So that's
Right.
basically what I was doing here, was sharing different types of symbolism. And people would pick up the things that they liked,
Yeah.
the things that they resonated with. And then I
They
would
just
look-
picked it up. You weren't selling?
No, they would pick up, like they would look at them and then pick up the ones that they liked, you know, and you could see what was in their mind, what were they thinking about based off of what I created at that moment in time. It's like a symbiotic relationship.
Facts,
Or
yeah.
personality.
Yeah, personalities. They pick different colors. No two person was the same. And then children are natural. They just pick up what they like anyway.
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
color. But adults would analyze, and you could see that. And that's really revealing about a person, you know? What are they thinking that you cannot hear unless you have that psychic ability, right?
Yeah, this another one?
Yeah.
Man, there's more.
So there's something about animals in my life, and people started requesting a lot of butterflies. And I feel like
Don't tell me you hand carved that.
No, I didn't hand carve this one. I do carving, but this was just something that I wanted to display.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could do that if you like, lots of hand carving. But this one, I just really recognized that this was a step in growth for me. You know, you have that caterpillar that goes into a cocoon, it hibernates. And there was a time in my life where I hibernated for a long time and secluded myself from the world, you know? And then as I engaged and started more on the art, I felt myself growing, ready to expand. And so I got a bunch of these requests about butterflies, more butterflies. Even the next slide is about butterflies, you know? And so I looked up, what is a butterfly? What does that mean? Expansion and growth and a new beginning in a positive way. You know, you're very colorful. You're very vibrant. You can fly. You pollinate. You spread health and wealth amongst the flowers, amongst the land. And it's very symbolic when you notice, like, those are appearing in my life, you know? And not only is it appearing in my life, it's like people are bringing that to me and asking it to come out of me. So I had to kind of do that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's anchor down a little bit on that, you know, part of your life when you hibernated and you had to kind of break out of a mold. This is stuck in the middle after all. We were gonna get to that question eventually.
Yeah.
How did you break out of that point and as an entrepreneur or as just a person, as a being, and you know what led to that, you know, being stuck and you know having to seclude yourself, and how did you come out of that?
Okay. What led to being stuck was trying to fulfill others' expectations, whether it was conscious or subconscious, you know, in a family with such high achievers and with a family with such, you know, high hopes for you as a person because, you know, they see it, they want it, they don't want to see anything less. And if you are trying to find yourself, there's going to be ups and downs. And the concept of, you know, when you're down, you're a bad person, or when you're down, you're not doing well. It's just like you can become depressed. You can become secluded. And in fact, I think it's almost a natural response. You want to block out those negative emotions and negative images. And also you can become even hard on yourself. I think we're our own worst critics. And a feel of failure, a feel of lack, a feel of not being on purpose, a feel of just not being where you thought you would be at that day of time can lead to just wanting to be alone, you know? And in that time, I was just alone, and I didn't want to interact, and I didn't want to create, and, you know, I didn't want to express, I didn't want to be. So I think, like, just slowly what started to come out of it is saying, no, I want to, because this is just a moment in time, and I don't always have to be stuck between something negative and something negative. You can be stuck between something negative and positive. That's attraction. You know what I mean? And then if you have something positive, you can be stuck between something positive and positive. And it's just a chain that started growing. And the more you focus on the positive, the easier things become. And the easier things become, the more you want to expand.
Right.
And it starts just getting very fast, very quick in that growth spurt. And once you feel like on high, basically, once you feel that euphoric emotions, you don't want to go back to those places.
Facts. Yep.
You don't want to go back. In fact, the second you feel that, you're like, no, wait a minute. I know what good feels like. So I know what bad feels like.
And you know how to get to that good.
Yeah.
And you know how to get that good. And it's all in your mind. No one can influence you for that.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
I like that.
Thank you. That's it, what it is. Yeah, this is just more butterflies, like I was talking about. This is the necklace, turquoise. Someone requested it. It's on some leather rope. It's just really basic, so I get a lot of requests like, hey, can you make this? Hey, can you refurbish this for me? So That's basically what that slide's about.
And we get into the eyes.
We're slowly getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is modeling. I love to do modeling. After breaking out of that shell,
Mm-hmm.
you want to present yourself to the world. So I started doing more modeling. I'm doing a little bit now, starting to break out. I just got introduced to one lady earlier today, and she would like to do some modeling for some articles, really scientific articles. So I said I wouldn't mind doing that.
It's in your realm anyway.
Yeah,
Science,
I love
you know what I mean?
science and art, and it's all together.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just one of the earlier pictures. It's more fashionable, but I think the colors and just the intensity of my eyes
Mm-hmm.
brings out what could come out in your articles or clothes or whatnot. So I think modeling has that kind of stereotype of you're going to do runway and you're going to be doing these kind of things and you're going to be starving yourself, and that's not necessarily true. It's very artistic, it's very self-expressioning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, it is what you make it, right?
Yeah. But don't you think that because you have a wide platform in terms of, okay, you do beats, right? Or you create beats, you paint, you draw, you carve,
Your model.
you model. Like, it makes, you modeling not like self-focused. So there are models that just focus on modeling, they're like, okay, I got to stay.
Oh, even what I'm saying, the other stuff,
Yeah.
you got a lot go. How do you balance it? How do you?
Exactly.
I don't think about it.
You
I mean, as it comes to me, I do it. I don't have to I need to figure out how I'm going to do this or figure out how I'm going to do that. I think meeting you guys was just by happenstance, and then coming here is just like, oh, I want to bring this, do this. Oh, I want to do that. Not too much of a thought. And with the thought would come restriction. So I really try not to think about it too hard. I just let things come naturally to me. And the balancing life is just because I love to do it.
So at one point did you notice that, like focusing, like thinking about things make it complex?
I think the misunderstanding is focusing too intently to make something happen makes it complex, but I have focus. I have focus, and the focus is on being positive and feeling good. And when I focus on those things, then these things come about. And it's the outside, it looks complex, the writing, like some of these things are pretty intense. But when you're just in it, like here today, you guys are just in it, where you can speak fluently and how the operations work, the electronics, how to podcast over a realm of different social medias.
Facebook Live, YouTube,
Yeah,
you know what
and
I'm
while
saying?
some people would say, how do they do that?
Right.
How do you keep up with that? And you guys do it naturally, I believe, right?
Yeah,
It just comes to you because I think you just don't even think about it. A lot of times you just do it.
We done did it for 2 years now.
Yeah. 2 years?
Yeah.
Happy
2
anniversary.
years.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Next month, February 5th.
Yeah, 2
Will be the
years.
second anniversary of Stuck in the Podcast, but
Yeah?
we're gonna talk about that. Back to the slides.
More modeling. I just love it. I just think it's fun now.
Yeah, that's
I
dope.
just,
That's
I
a
just,
very pretty picture.
Yeah, thank you very
I was showing my
much.
cousin that, he was like, "Aish." I was like, "Oh my god,
Open that baby.
What's that? What's that?" I said, "Calm down."
Thank you. I love that one. Green. Favorite
Yeah,
color.
yeah, my
I
favorite
love
color.
It.
Yeah.
Green is I love that picture.
Is it money or is it just green?
Yeah, it started off with the bud, the stuff that you get high off. Then once I grew up,
This guy.
it became money. But yeah, next picture.
It is what it is, right?
More green.
This one.
This guy.
This is where I started expanding into Photoshop. I was with one of my best friends. We went to Virginia, to the caverns, and we went walking. I took this picture, and I just started manipulating it, and it spoke to me. It's just so vibrant. It's so...
Yeah, it is live,
It's
yeah.
like a burst from your soul, like your heart.
Mhm.
I just love that picture. It's available on Fine Art America. You can put it on bags and T-shirts and cups and mugs or whatever you like. You can make prints.
You
and
securing bag off that? Like you getting paid off that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Fine Art America, if I can make a pitch. Fine Art America is really one of the best. Yeah, they're doing a lot of advertising with the pixels right now. So that's a really good website. They have really quality. I have a couple of things that I brought just to show
Yeah, we
from
gonna
the
get
Fine
into it.
site. And yeah, this is available. This is called Way Back Home. And so it's just like when you find your way back home, it's that inner light, you know, nostalgic.
I'm
Very
kind of
beautiful.
wondering, like, how did you figure? Like, looking at the end product, right? It looks cool, but how did you figure out that, you know, just putting the light cool? Like, how did you figure it out?
I just feel it.
You just feel it. So it's that energy.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy. A lot of times, if it feels incomplete, it's incomplete.
You as an artist, Reflex, please let me ask you this, right? When you do music, when you rap, like, is it the same? Is it the energy? Like, how do you come up with the concepts?
Yeah, it's just the energy. Sometimes it's different though. You purposely go into it to create an energy. Sometimes you go into it and you let the energy do the creating. Sometimes you go create that energy. I think with music it's different in that way, but maybe in your art form it's different. You just let the energy, you know, drive you.
I let the energy come to me,
Yeah.
and then I let it out of me.
Yeah.
It's a very cyclic cycle
Yeah.
kind of a process, and
Yeah.
sometimes you look for that energy. Like, I need some energy to sustain and maintain. I need that. I have a couple of things I want to get done, and then sometimes, I know the other day I felt someone come behind me. I could feel their energy, and their energy pumped me up, you know. So it's just like it's transfer. It's transfer.
facts.
Energy doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Energy don't die.
This I liked. It's called Ancient Relics. It reminds me of Egypt. It reminds me
You've
of
been?
wealth. I haven't been, but I'm going. It reminds me of wealth. It reminds me, because they're very knowledgeable in science and medicine, and just their thoughts of kings and queens, and just how they built their civilization. I love just that concept. But it just reminded me of that. It reminds me of gold. I mean,
Yeah.
it reminds me of gold.
Yeah.
So Ancient Relics is also available. A lot of these things, a lot of the images are on, you know, the Fine Art America. Only originals are originals. The original owner has the original piece, but the prints are always available. So that's one thing to say. If you like Ancient Relics, you're about that,
Yeah.
you can have it, you know.
Just like this little pieces, right?
Yeah, these little pieces are one of a kind. You'll never get, you don't see a replication of the beaded pieces, because they're just, I mean, if you want an image of it, I could, but the actual piece itself is just one of a kind.
Oh, I think we're done.
Oh.
Oh no, we're not.
This is
This is
transitioning into the eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
And,
Yeah.
you know, like that's something interesting about you that I find personally interesting. Like you were interested in things. You currently studying. Well, how do you say this word? Epidemiology of the eye. Is that how you say it? Epidemiology of the?
Epidemiology.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't go to school. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, before we run into the eyes, I
Yeah.
wanted to present some gifts for you guys
Hey,
coming.
what's
Yeah,
this?
before we get into the meat of it, of the eyes. So around my neck are some medallions for you gentlemen.
Okay.
So this is for you, sir.
Talking to me, will I give so? If you are watching that, you are next on the.
They're made out of the hemp leaf and wood. I also have a poster that I wanted to display to you.
Mano, wait till me go back at me.
That's good. Is it upside down? This is called.
How do you know if it's upside down or not?
My signature's in the bottom right most of the time.
Dang.
Push it up.
Smarticle.
This is called Purple Creations, whatever you want to call it, however you feel when you look at it. That's one for you guys.
You did this like on this?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
this is a print for you.
the print for- oh.
The rest are original.
For this first. Hold
I
on.
got on the floor, something happened, and I let it out.
Ah,
I was feeling well.
See, if I look at this, go ahead, bro.
That looked like, you know, a kid was just playing with paint, and he was just.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
that's
like,
the I
you
guess
know,
that's
and-
the creation, right?
And the crazy thing is, I think Prince died right after it. That Purple Rain, and I was stunned. I was like, I just made something purple creation, you know. And so it is almost kid-like, and that's the point where you almost want to be, where you're free.
How long did it take you?
That took me about 30 minutes.
Okay.
30?
Yeah, the layering.
That's less time, man. I thought it would have been about 2 days. You know, you go and come, like, oh, what color can I add to this?
I let it all out. I let
Wow.
it out in series.
Let me guess. It was a little bit of anger and a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, it was just like that bright green. Well, the purple, I don't know if it's anger, but you can also have like that feeling of, you know, wealth and luxury and not having it, basically.
That green, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
What's
that
next?
green.
Plus, you look like you about to put that thing in your pocket.
It's for the studio,
Yeah,
bro.
you can frame that as well.
Yeah,
You
we
can
are going
have
to
a
frame it.
poster.
And This is listen. We got Keri Fuller in the building.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
This could be the an album cover.
That is replacing that over there.
This could be an album cover.
Turn it around. This is upside down.
Oh.
You said what?
It's going on with you.
It's not a woman.
This is called Hatred.
Oh.
So there's a series that I had where I went through emotions, and I went through hatred and loss and anger, and they're all negative emotions. And the series is called Healing Circles, to heal hatred, to heal loss, to heal anger, to heal frustration, manipulation, whatnot. And this one I feel is really fitting for you guys because of the red and the passion. It's like, I think hatred and love are on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. All these other emotions are kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So you got
hatred
this
and
one.
love. Yeah. Man.
And it's the healing of hatred.
And that's the stuck in the middle.
Yeah, it's the healing of hatred. All right. So that one is for you also.
Actually.
I have this one. Oh.
This is sensible for moi.
Hey, everything is staying in the studio. I don't know why people are
sorry.
talking about taking stuff home.
This is for you guys also. This is called The Tree That Gives.
Green.
Wow.
I like the red. It signifies blood.
Yeah, I love when I hear about what you guys think about. Yeah, what do you think about it? What do you think about this?
This right here is like the beginning, the burst. Mm-hmm. That little dot of orange. Oh, yellow.
No, that little dot signifies I'm done.
See what I mean?
Wow.
Like, she created everything. She's like, okay, you know what?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Boom.
Wow, this is dope. This is really dope. What is this called?
This is called The Tree That Gives.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the back.
And you know, we are surrounded by all these trees around us, and it gives a lot. It makes our money.
Yeah.
It makes our paper. It makes our clothes. It can make furniture. It makes our shelter. And we have a lot of trees around us that are symbolic. There's this story called the giving tree that my aunt gave me, and I really resonate with that. The child basically took from the tree, and an old man himself, and he said, the tree said, "What can I give to you? I have nothing left to give." And the old man said, "I just want to sit. You know, you can still give. You can still give."
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I love that story, and that's for you guys too.
To most people, like, you know, you grab it.
Oh, just one more, and then we can drink.
To most people, I just want to say this is not boring. You know what I mean? Like, this is art. Take time to appreciate art.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're not a creative, you would think this is boring, but it's really not. Take the time to understand
Appreciate
the
art.
creation, you know, the artist, and the purpose behind it.
Yeah, man.
I just had to say that.
No.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's what art's about, I think.
I got a question for that later on, but we'll get into it.
This
We're not
one?
done.
Yeah.
No,
No, we're not
no,
done.
what he just said.
Okay. This is called, I wrote it down for you guys, Wisdom in the Knowledge.
I was thinking of that. Wisdom.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
thinking of that wisdom because of
That's
how,
complex. That's
because
really-
of how, you know, the colors blend with each other. But I want to ask you this: how do you create this layer on top of all the other? Chuchu's going like this episode, by the way. Oh, my little sister.
She's an artist. She did.
Yeah.
She did that reflex thing right there. She did that
Oh,
one.
nice.
Yeah.
I was looking at that, and the
Yeah.
reflex, she has
Yeah.
great brush strokes.
Yeah.
How I created it was with brushes.
Shout out to
I
Chuchu.
use my hands.
You got creative.
I turn it around, like it's not just all facing me like this way. I turned it around probably like 4 or 5 times. I layered it with different. You can see some purple,
Yeah.
some light orange.
Blue.
You get there's blue, and then you mix them, and the mixing of colors can make more colors that you just can't get from the pigments itself. And then just letting your body stroke, trying not to make anything happen. And it's just you can go from here with this big line here. You can focus on the pinks and the oranges. You can focus on the high intensity of the yellows here. You can focus on the growth here. It's whatever you.
At what
Go
point
with.
did you think this was done? At what point did you think it was enough?
When I was exhausted. I usually exhaust myself. And then when I found it was done, I just feel it, you know? You can hang it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just for the people.
And now you have a big stream of the pink here. And now the yellow's coming into it.
Wow.
So it's knowledge. I mean, you can gain knowledge anyway. Gain your knowledge.
Yeah, facts.
Any
Just
sensory.
the vibrant energy coming from it. You know what I mean? It's like if you're in a positive mindset, you could actually feel the painting. But if you're in a negative mindset,
I'm about to put that right there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna replace that akatatin over there. That's gonna inspire me.
And I do have pictures that are. I brought some positive ones for this show. I thought it was really positive. But I do have negative ones because I'm. That's how my therapy basically. You let that out.
Definitely. When actually, I draw the best when I'm angry. Yeah, like you really see each, like the contour, like it comes out clean and perfect. But when I'm happy, I'm just like whatever. You know, like this. This is a whatever, you know, thing because you just. I mean, not for you, but
yeah, art is art.
Yeah. You got one more?
Well, this is transitioning into the irises.
Okay,
but that is for you also.
Oh, okay. You want it? Well, you know, so like just to. So sorry. Go ahead. Now, just to answer the question though, like you study, are we transitioning eyes right now?
Yeah.
Like epidemiology of the eye loss and training to be a fabricating prosthetic. All right, that's a lot of big words. That's a lot of big words that you involved in some scientific stuff.
Yeah, I love science. I love to learn. So right now I'm under an epidemiologist, and I'm learning everything there is to know about the eye, including the anatomy, the physiology, medications involved with it, surgeries, procedures, different types of injuries. I'm really into the injuries right now. It's basically what I do in the morning, and recently, I fell across a lot of eye injuries where you completely lose your eye, not just your vision. And I was wondering, like, what do they do? And there was a presentation that said, you know, as if you have an enucleation, which is either traumatic, where something just takes your eye out from an injury, or someone surgically goes in and cuts all the muscles and snips the optic nerve, and they remove your eye from the socket. You don't have an eye. You don't have vision, but you also don't have an eye. And the thing about it is we have prosthetics for your leg if you lose your leg. We have prosthetics for your hand if you lose your hand. And I just said, well, what about your eye? And we do have those things for your eyes where you can put something that's similar to your other eye and it looks like cosmetics. And when you're looking at someone in their face, you know, you're looking at someone who doesn't have an eye, you can tell the self-esteem is not there because it's the first thing you look at, someone's face, and the next thing you look at is definitely their eyes and lips and nose and mouth and whatnot. But the eyes are most revealing that you're a human being because you can have the other structures, but it's almost like the eyes are like what makes you alive, you know? And so I started reaching out to different ocularists around America and saying, hey, are you willing to take me on as an apprentice? Because there's no schools, there's no structured programs. You kind of like family-based. I'm an ocularist. I want you to be an ocularist, and that's where it comes back to. I'm a doctor. I'm this kind of thing in my family. You got to be it too. It's kind of weird now that I say that, but I had to find someone.
Now we're familiar with that as Africans.
Yeah, you're gonna be this because I'm this.
Yeah.
You know?
Facts.
But I was like, I don't have that, but I want to be that. I want someone to teach me that. And this is the only way that I recently found out that you could do it, by having someone, if you're an electrician, to come in and say, I want you to be under me. And I'm going to teach you all that I know. And I've been finding out that, you know, with the research, but you learn a lot from yourself too, just your style. So that's how I got into it. It was basically me just chilling at a presentation and wondering, how do they make eyes? And the concept is, we think it's a big globe that you stick into your eye.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do eye prosthetics look like?
Yeah, let me show you some.
This girl came prepared.
So
yes, take notes.
Sorry, thank you.
You good.
So this is a stock eye.
Oh, can I touch?
Yeah, go ahead, talk it.
I thought it was candy.
No, that's a stock eye. That's basically just like, so you can see what it looks like, feels like. It's made out of acrylic. You also have oil paints, and you have red thread that makes like the injections, the redness of the eye, and it's curved, you know. So when you have a surgery, it's not a big circle that goes. That's uncomfortable. You have your eyes and your lids, but you could put a contact lens in. You know what I mean? So this is similar to a contact lens. You put in what they call an orbital implant inside the orbit. It's usually made out of coral, and they let the conjunctiva heal over that. So when they put this in the eye, they can take it in and out, and it's just like nice skin where you put something on top of it. And this is formatted to their eye specifically. You can't be like sharing it with, it's like tailored to your eye. It's tailored to your eye, you know what I mean?
Here, have my eye.
So, and it just changes the world. So that's a stock one, which just means it's manufactured. And here is one of the real ones. This is a very thin one. Pass it around. So this is the stock one.
Yeah, this one is thin. This looks
That's
like
someone.
This looks like a ET person kind of thing.
That their eye completely. They just had a disease, and they still have their natural tissue, but they also have a disfigurement. So it's basically like a way to cover it up, almost like makeup, you know. So this just fits into, it's very thin because there's not a lot of space between the globe, that part of the eye, and the lids, and you want it to be very smooth. You want it to be very and
so you into making these as
I'm
well?
into this. I'm into making it. In fact, I have my lab at home. This is one of, it looks like you have an eye in your ring.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I've been practicing recently. I've been just making my own practices.
So you made this at home?
These I made in the lab.
Oh, in the lab, okay.
Those are real. These I'm doing at home just for practice. These are clay models that I take a Dremel, and anything you see that's black, here, I'll grab this for you. Anything you see that's black are places that need to be modified because either it's too rugged or it's not formatting right in the eye, or, you know.
Can I have one of those, please? No, that one.
This one? No, these are mine.
No, not have it, but I just want to hold it.
You want to hold it?
It's something comes to mind when I.
Okay.
But anyways, continue.
These are a little bit bigger than what would go in the eye, but it gives you that feel.
Yeah.
When you have something, if you're left or right-handed, you would have like a drill or something. Of course, wear your eye protection because you're going to have little shards coming up, and you just kind of mold it around. And I brought a Dremel for you guys later after the show, and you can take one and just try to like make it nice and smooth and just round it out. It's fun. I mean, you can get into it. You just days away, and just make it as smooth as possible, and knowing that you're going to deliver this to someone that's going to change their life, basically.
Yeah.
I've come across a lot of articles where it said and they've been in an injury, and it said, why did you take my eyes? You know, I'd rather you take my leg than my sight.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And that's an impact.
Most people don't understand, like, until you start wearing glasses or wear contacts to see, you don't really know the importance of your eyes, man. Like, like you don't think about it. But anyways, yeah. Since we're talking about blogs, what are you done?
Yeah, this is. I'll share this with you guys later. You can have a clay one if you want to modify. If you have Dremels, and
definitely want to try.
I'd like to keep my original ones because they're just part of me. I have some on my keys.
Facts.
And you know, I just practice at home. I do a lot of sketching.
Yeah, giving us enough gifts, so.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll show you this other gift that I have here. I don't think I did.
So
this is one of the canvases that I draw and paint. The Ocular community loves them. They put them in their offices, and they share them around. It's basically, you know what the eye reminds me of? The universe. And the black holes. It reminds me of that, really intense. You got this black hole and lots of movement going on, lots of creation going on. And if you have time to look at some iris pictures, you'll see they're very in depth. No two eyes are the same. They're like fingerprints.
Yeah.
No two colors are the same. I think it's just very beautiful.
That's crazy.
And it's for you.
Like, that is
Unnamed.
crazy. You know, like, by the way, plug in the website, please, for people who really want to, you know, take the time to go look at all your art. Like, plug in the website.
Okay, my website is Lucid, LUCID, Art Gallery.co. So CO for company, And you can go on that site and go into the first page. There's a welcome page. It tells about the things that I do. You can scroll down to all the social media. On my website right now is this podcast that I'm featuring. Thank you for letting me do that.
Yeah, man.
You just click on the site and you can go to your links and to your social medias. The next page is about me. You can look all about some of the things that was missed in this interview. And see some of the creations that I make, and you can do that.
I gotta tell you, everything here is gonna live in the studio, and your story and your legacy of coming through here is always gonna be told. Because everybody's gonna be like, I like that joint. Yeah, Keri Fuller came through. You know
yeah, definitely.
And she spoiled us.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was so great when you said, come on through. I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so you actually started a blog titled "I Love Your Eyes."
Yeah.
What's the idea behind it, and where is it at right now?
I started that blog. It's EYE, Love Your Eyes kind of deal. And I was just playing around. Like everything I create, I try a test mode of it. So it's not up on the website right now. But I Love Your Eyes is just interacting with people. And I think I get a lot of times like, you're looking through me kind of deal. And it's like, I'm just looking at your eyes, basically. I'm just telling myself, But I Love Your Eyes is basically me talking about how I feel about that person, how they make me feel. And they say, you remember how people, what they say about you or what they talk about, but you're going to remember how they make you feel, And so that's basically like a transition of my eyes to your eyes. They say a window to the soul, and that's what that blog is about. And I think I started to transition about how the journey to become an ocularist was in there too. The steps and the difficulties and the obstacles are within that blog, but I really just want that blog to be inspirational, so I'm still tailoring it. So I removed it for right now. You love that one?
I'm just holding
Yeah, it's like the circle too. But I Love Your Eyes blog. They say blogging is really therapeutic, yeah. And I love writing, so I'm gonna try it again with this blog. You like that one too?
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But not for those watching right now, and
cool.
when I first went to your website, I kind of thought to myself, is she really paint all of this, or is it just digital? Like for the audience, do you have a walk-in gallery, or is everything online?
So everything is online unless I have a show. And I think just for the way the world is working right now and the cost effectiveness is probably the best way. Everything's online. You can market things, you can show online. And when you have a space which is reasonably priced, you can just do a installation. But one of the things I am gearing towards once I become more of an ocularist is instead of having a clinical setting, more of a gallery setting. So you're coming in, you're getting a piece of art for your eye, for yourself, really, really, really tailored. And you're not coming into, it's going to be sterile. It has to be, guidelines and whatnot. But the feel will be more of, I'm coming into a space of a gallery. And I'm going to be leaving with a piece of art. But I don't have that just yet. That's one of the obstacles I'm transitioning into and overcoming. But a lot of the work that I have on the website, especially in the gallery itself, is just in my own personal space. A lot of it is hand painted, and when you go into the gift shop specifically has digital. So
this painting right here. Do you still have the original?
This is the original. You guys have the original.
My sister, thank you.
Yeah. So when you have the original, you have the original.
I'll contact Jay-Z.
Yeah, these are the originals.
Yeah.
Anyone else that wants them has to get prints.
Yeah.
Hey. From Fine Art America.
It pays off to start podcast. So, like, the interesting thing is, art is visual. People go online, they see, and when you have, like displays, like when you put up in Bethesda, they can see, touch. And you also, catering to people who don't have that, like blessing of seeing it to, restore some sort of dignity in. And it just comes full circle, and I appreciate that. Now, on the website, when somebody orders a piece of your
So on the website, which has the galleries, they're originals. And I talk to the person. They can just order it, and they can get something like the creation, the purple creation, and just rolled up in a tube, and you can frame it yourself. I find like if you have a studio or a place that you have a certain type of frame, like you're into wood, you're into silver, you're gonna want to frame it yourself. Pretty much, you can reframe these also. So that's the first step. You just go online, you go to the gallery, and you click it. And once it's gone basically because I removed the original. Some people go to the gift shop and they can get as many things as they want because they're just prints. So that's basically, and Fine Art America ships for me for that.
Yeah, gotcha.
But for the originals, I really have to put in the work and say, how do you want this shipped? Do you want it framed? If you want a little extra, we can do that. I know over the Christmas holiday, I did free framing for a lot of individuals in Maryland. But usually I just say, this is how it comes. It's going to come rolled, protected in a tube, or a shipping tube. And there's different options to frame it. Or if you don't want it framed, sometimes people don't want it framed. But that's up to you. But you're getting the original piece, and it's not going to be, I can't duplicate this, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing to duplicate. I can't duplicate it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Here's another quote for you. I can't tell exactly how I'm going to get there, but I know I'll be textbook famous. And that's by you, actually.
Yeah,
Explain
I
yourself.
saying that.
Where's that? Where we at in the process?
I don't know how I'm going to get there. Means I just don't have a plan. I don't have a set plan. It seems like when you do, something comes and your plan changes. It seems like you could have a direction, but a definite plan, sometimes it just fall through. And I know I'm going to get there. It's just because you just got to know.
Yeah.
You just got to know. You just can't be wishy-washy about it and say, oh, I can feel or imagine. It's just like I know, because I don't know if you're feeling what I feel. I'm tingling already.
Yeah.
It's like I know.
Yeah.
And the textbook famous, I say that because there's different types of fame, you know. And I feel in that spectrum of fame, there's like the Hollywood, there's that one-time quick fame, one-time wonders they call them. And
15
then
seconds.
15 seconds. Facebook, kind of, I had my channel for a little bit, not sustainable. But textbook, they write that stuff and they promote that and they teach that. And I feel like a lot of the textbook is either very, very negative, things that people did that are horrible, or things that people did that are very positive and influential. And I would like to be that type of textbook famous.
Is that the goal, fame?
I think it's really, the more people I reach, I think you just become
I like
that
that.
text
I like that.
famous.
Picasso was never famous till he passed away.
Yeah.
Like later.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying to make it. I want to try to see a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, textbook famous, something that I mean, whether you study it or not, you're gonna hear about it. It's something like, you know, the name of this person because
Yeah.
it's in your textbook.
How do you want your art perceived? Like, how do you want people to receive your art?
I want people to receive my art as something that's gonna change their life.
This right here? Whew.
You just changed somebody's life. Yeah, no.
Yeah, if it changes my life and you're touching it by laws of attraction, it's gonna change your life. That's how I want to be perceived.
I'm gonna get somebody to write a blog post about this art right here.
Thanks.
As a matter of fact, you should.
And publish it on our website.
On
Yeah,
our site.
We'll hook up and
Yeah.
see what's going on. I can
Definitely.
do whatever. I love it.
Hey.
I get a lot of commission pieces too. So anything that you like, that you envision, we can collaborate.
By the way, Fine Art America, like you put in Keri Fowler.
Oh, that's great.
Like, son, I thought, this art was gonna be, like $100.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. It's $17. I would charge you
Prosthetic
$20.
eye.
Sorry.
prosthetic eye.
Yeah.
Just for this? Nah, hell
Up
no,
that
bro.
price.
Up that price. For real.
No. Fine Art America, when you click in, is like, that's probably like a just a small frame. But when you click in, they have different prices for different things. So like a mug would be $5, and then frames like this, my framed artwork versus unframed, is going to be a little bit different.
So this is
But-
like inviting you, like, okay, come on.
Yeah, but honestly, if there's anything on their website that is too expensive, I don't get that merchandise because I want it to be affordable. And a lot of times people will sell things like this for $3,000. I mean, one day I might have an offer like that, and that would be very great.
Did you hand paint this?
That's a photography one.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of Photoshop ones, but I love that one because it's very passionate.
Yeah.
And this is called, I think it's like something passionately
rose-colored glass.
You want, yeah, sure, the rose-colored glass.
The rose-colored glass for people who.
Yeah, I love that one.
Just
I was actually going
right.
to share that one, but I cut it.
Oh man, that's sick.
So sometimes people want to sell this stuff for thousands and thousands, but
Like the guy who just sold a swimming pool for what, 75 million?
A swimming pool.
Swimming pool painting.
Oh.
that's
But
crazy.
yeah. But who do you look up to? Like, you know, saying, like, as far as like in this realm of your art and in your man, all this art is just making me short of speech.
I look
Who
up
do you look
to
up to?
Maya Angelou.
Okay.
I love her. I like Anita Baker. She's a great artist. There's a lot of women around me in my life right now that I just really, in the government, in my personal life, there's a lot of people that I just love. I love Van Gogh. I mean, I go to Van Gogh. I just love him. It's just, I think it's almost like to say I like Van Gogh, but I really like him a lot. And those are really the main people around me, family, my work, those. I think I have a book from Maya that's signed by her, and I think maybe
dope.
that's why, for my grandparents.
That's really good.
And I just love her work. She went through a lot, you know. I don't really try to emphasize the negative, but the positive, but she's textbook. I think I look up to her.
Look at that guy. He's like looking around the room already placing art.
Yeah, you know.
I'm really glad you like it.
He's already looking up like, okay.
Oh,
your necklace.
This one is just for
is
my
that inspired
mom.
by you?
No, this is for my mom.
Okay.
She gave this to me. I forget the stone, but I remember getting this when I
Was
was
it
leaving
ruby?
the house. I think it's garnet. At Garnet. I got this leaving the house. Very, really red, passionate, live your life kind of thing. And I wore it for the outfit, really, but I wear it often. It reminds me. She's a very, very strong woman. She's very strong, and I admire her a lot. I admire a lot of my family.
Yeah,
you know,
that's dope.
but
That's
when
essentials.
some things that you just get, like that medallion earlier from his family, you just resonate with it, you know. So this necklace, nothing really on me today. I was trying to be a little bling. It's not mine that I made, but this has symbolism to me. My watch, my mom gave me the bracelet, the earrings. No, they're just for the look.
So let me put you in a setting, right? So let's say this room you decided to showcase your art. So this room is your gallery for the day, and you put a bunch of that painting right there. You put a bunch of them all over the place. Have you ever gotten has someone ever gotten in and just felt like it's a little weird, with all the eyes just focused on them? Like, have you ever gotten that?
So no, I haven't gotten this weird. I've gotten this in intense almost. There was the raw artist event that I focused on the eyes, and I had all of those eyes that I had even smaller than this, and the question was, what is it? Because sometimes you don't get it until it clicks, because it just looks like a circle with a hole and lots of lines and paint, and it almost looks like, okay, it's like she has an obsession with circles, basically. Until you talk and engage, it's the engaging that they're like, well, wow, now that looks like my son's eye, or this looks like one of my cousin's eyes. Like, I can see this, and it doesn't look like any eye I know, but just the green makes me feel good, or the brown makes me feel good. I did have one showcase at, Artomatic, and they basically let you have a room like you were describing. You could share it with someone, another artist, but you literally can put up any type of artwork that you want. And I did specifically the abstract art, and I think that can give you an impression of what's going on with her, or this makes me feel a certain way. Because I think at that time I put up a lot of darker colors, and they would say, well, what's going on? And that wasn't my impression to do that. I just liked those pieces, but they reflected something, and they resonated with it and said, well, what's going on? And that could be a weird interaction, like, nothing.
I just love eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Now this is dope stuff. This is really dope stuff.
Thanks.
Where, you know what I'm saying, in the future, can we, what's next for you?
2 years from now, I would love to do more stuff like this, interact with people and make a lot more eyes, not just practicing, but actually getting out in the communities and making them. Travel. I love to travel and talk and talk about the positive aspects of life, and I love to encourage. In 2 years, I hope to have more base, more financing just for the things that I like to do. In 2 years, I like to build my community, not just in the eye community, but also just my youth community. Anyone that's really a female, anyone that's really male, anyone that's really a child, anyone that's elderly, anyone that has the mindset that they want to grow. I have a thing on Fine Art America also. It's a community called the Mind's Eye, and in this community we just talk about growth. What makes you expand. We're going to talk about today a bad dream, and let's analyze it. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about what makes you tick, what makes you get out of bed, why do you not sleep at night, kind of deals. And I think in 2 years, the mindset will change where I'm not so much interested in talking about people in events or talking about ideas and concepts, and really getting into the meat of why we're here.
Purpose.
And becoming one. I mean,
Yeah, I like it.
At what point, like, when did you start painting, drawing, sculpture, all that
I
stuff?
started drawing when I was very young, and I remember I would sneak out of bed at night and get on the floor and draw.
You sneak out of bed?
Yeah, it was
Never
very
heard that before.
Sneak out of my
Sneak out of bed and
bed.
draw.
Yeah, and draw, and I would leave it under the doors of like my mom and my dad and my brother. So when they wake up the next morning, they would have a picture. And my mom was not happy at first. She was like, "Why are you not in bed?" You know? And that's what woke me up. And I wake up, and that's basically what I do now. I wake up and start drawing and painting, and I would leave it for my family, or I'd give it to my friends the next day. And it was a very young age. If I can remember, it was when I started doing that. I was like 6 and 7 years old. Yeah.
Paint a picture of your home for me.
When you walk into my house, the first thing
Don't give the address.
you see, is when you walk in, it says "Love is all you need." It's the first thing I see when I walk in. And then past it, I see my art studio, and there's eyes, and there's paintbrushes, and there's color, and there's light, lots of light. And I walk into the other parts of my room, like I go in, and there's children, pictures of children laughing, and there's rugs, like nice bright colors. There's a wall full of mirrors. Like I'm looking at, I think it's just for the sound really, but I have mirrors like that reflect the light. There's lots of plants, lots of growth, plants all over the place. There's lots of mirrors, and I have my jerseys up on the wall from playing football. I have some Indian, I don't know how you, not Indian, but Japan, what do they call those when they dress up?
Like samurais.
Yeah, I have that on my wall. I have a Roman dress up there, sword, and in the kitchen I have all the spices I can use to cook. I love creating with cooking, and there's more plants in there, and
You ever seen that video?
there's lots of colorful lights where they change colors.
Hot.
So energy.
My
You ever
mind
seen
is
that?
like-
You ever seen that video? Oh, this person was just putting a lot of spice in water. And then,
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
He was saying that.
put my
just saying,
food.
just saying a lot of spice. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I put like, right now I'm really into cilantro and parsley. I don't know. Maybe it's the vitamin K or
Yeah.
I think I just like
Your
that.
house is dope though. I like the plants.
Yeah.
Like a lot of plants.
There's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my house-
and lots of stars. I have glow in the dark stars.
This stuff dripping. This stuff dripping from the ceiling. Do you have stuff hanging from the ceiling?
Oh, I heard dripping. I was like,
Not
what?
like I have like this lamp in my room where it's over the major part of the room, and it has it's not dripping, but it has the colorful lights that strobe different colors, and it's just resonates over the whole room, and you can get the reds and the oranges. And I've been playing around with it because I have a lot of dreams and seeing what lights trigger different types of dreams. Purple gives a lot, like those black lights. Reds, usually I get like nightmares with a red, but I think it's just like the wave frequency. And blues I have a lot, but that's the only thing that's really coming from the ceiling is this huge lamp that displays colorful lights.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. I like it because it's calming. You can communicate with it. it's honesty. It's calm. It's just a calm color in all of its shades. The light blues, the electric blues, the dark blues. It's just a nice color, and I resonate with that color. Sometimes people say, they look at me and they say, "Oh, you look like you're like emanating orange or a blue or something like that." What they call auras, and I'm like, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love blue, but that doesn't mean I don't like disregard any other color. I love all the colors. Recently I've been into orange a lot, and yellows have been coming into my world a lot, and greens. Those middle colors of success and wealth and healing and knowledge.
This is my commission to you, right? I'm commissioning you to do this for me. Do for me like a painting of this size right here of the different shades of blue.
Okay.
Like, different shades of blue type of thing, or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The deal.
Man, okay,
Alright.
dropping bags out
That's
here. Nah, but listen, all good things got to come to an end.
Yeah.
And we,
I appreciate you having me.
nah,
It's
we,
been so
this has
awesome.
been really awesome.
Thank
Definitely
you so
come.
much.
Like I said, you're gonna live in this studio, and definitely come back. You're not far from here, so we would love to have you again.
Yeah, I'd love to be here again. Tell you where I am. You guys tell me where you are. What's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
down.
March 9th, we have an event coming up. How to Start a $1 Million Business, featuring Chico at Bango Way
2.0.
2.0 here in Laurel. We're bringing it back by popular demand. We would love if you can pull up. I don't know, where you are business wise, but you can definitely pull up there. How to Start a $1 Million Business. But yeah, this has been great.
Thank
And,
you.
Keri Fuller. I call you by your middle name. That's how personal we've gotten already.
And on our social is gonna be, at the
Right
bottom.
there. Yeah, if
right
you wanna-
there.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to support the business, get to know more and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. I usually don't talk this much, so
Yeah. I can tell.
Yeah.
You're exhausted now. You better go home
Yeah,
and
right,
and just do his
I gotta
painting
get
and sleep.
yeah, I'm done for the day. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And I will definitely talk to you guys soon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank
Hey,
you.
if you've enjoyed this podcast, man, listen, subscribe on all social media platforms. It's SITM Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that ringer so you can get notifications every time we drop a new episode. This is 2019. We got dope stuff coming. We will be in Philadelphia February 1st and 2nd. If you in Philly, pull up, say what's up. We will be at University of Pennsylvania at W.E.B. Du Bois Home, supporting we supporting the African community out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be
African Students
right here.
Association out
Yeah.
there, and they're a 2-day event. I should have had that reading that. And yeah, AK, man, take us home.
Yes, sir. Yes. Take us on where?
Like, sign out.
Oh, my bad.
Again, like I said, March 9th, 6 Dollar Business 2.0 with Chico. He is dope businessman in the DMV area. $1 Million. He loves to share information, and he's very humble and very, 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 very giving. So
Hey, follow us on all social media, SITM Podcast. My website is sitmpodcast.com. Email us sitmpodcast237@gmail.com for questions, comments, referrals, or if you want to link up, with Keri, hey, we could, definitely put you on.
Yeah,
you could get you a dope
Thanks.
painting, like I just commissioned. You know what I'm saying? So
get you an eye to replace one
Yeah.
of them eyes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I appreciate everybody watching on
yeah.
Facebook Live.
Yeah.
If you are listening on audio, like I said, you want to see this stuff.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube
Yeah.
right now and watch it and subscribe.
SITM Podcast is a handle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got lots of videos. Don't kid yourself, man. You know what I mean? Information is key, but really what makes it major key is what you're going to do with the information.
All right, that's enough.
But-
We out.
We're getting philosophical.